In many African villages, there is a belief whispered only at night. A warning passed down by elders, wrapped in fear and truth. Never answer a midnight knock. Even if the voice calling your name belongs to someone you loved. For during the season of thin nights, when the boundary between the living and the dead grows weak, spirits wander freely. Some come seeking peace. Others come seeking host. This is the story of Amina, a young girl whose heart refused to let go of her little sister, Zoe, even after death. A story that began with grief, but turned into a nightmare the moment she heard 3 soft knocks on her door. Tap, tap, tap. And a familiar voice whispered, "Amina, open the door." Please follow, like, share and comment what you learn at the end of the story. The first time Amina heard the knocking, she thought it was the wind brushing the wooden door of her small hut. 3 soft taps, tap, 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 barely loud enough to pull her from sleep. But when she sat up, the night was still. No rustling leaves, no crickets. Just silence deep enough to swallow her breath. She waited, clutching her blanket. Then it came again, deliberate this time. Tap, tap, tap. Amina's heart shook in her chest. Midnight knocks carried their own fear in her village, especially during the season of thin nights when elders warned that spirits roamed freely. She whispered a shaky prayer and forced herself back to sleep. But the knocks returned the next night. And the next. On the 4th night, unable to bear it, Amina crept toward the door and pressed her ear against the wood. "Amina," a girl whispered. Amina froze. The voice was soft, trembling, unmistakable. Zoe's voice. Her younger sister. The one who died a year ago. By dawn, she stumbled into her grandmother's hut, trembling. "Nana. Zoe's been knocking on my door." Her grandmother's eyes widened with ancient fear. "Child," she whispered, "that is not your sister." Amina's grandmother sat her down, closed the windows, and lowered her voice to a whisper older than memory. During thin nights, wandering spirits take the forms of the dead. They copy their voices, their footsteps, their sorrow, all to lure the living. Amina swallowed. "But she said my name." She sounded like Say. "That is how they trick you," her grandmother warned. "Do not open that door. If you do, you invite a spirit into your home and into your life." She reached for a leather charm tied with cowrie shells. "Wear this. No matter how much it cries, do not open." But that night, the knocks came again, harder, desperate. And this time, Amina heard something she had never heard before. Zoe crying. Soft, broken sobs like the night she drowned. "Amina, why won't you open? It hurts so much." Amina pressed her hands to her ears. Her grandmother's warning clashed with the memory of Zoe's smile. Who do you obey, fear or love? Amina sat trembling in the darkness, hugging herself as the sobs continued. "Amina, please. I'm cold." The voice was wrong, yes. Too hollow. Too thin. But then it said something that shattered her resistance. "Remember the mango tree, where we buried our treasure? You promised you'd protect me." Only the real Zoe knew that. Tears bled Amina's eyes. Maybe she wasn't imagining things. Maybe Zoe's spirit truly needed her. Maybe the warnings were old superstition. And maybe, just maybe, Amina could fix the guilt that crushed her every night since Zoe died. Against every instinct, every warning, she unbolted the door. The wind didn't blow. The moon didn't move. But there, in the doorway, stood Zoe. Not decayed. Not wet. Not ghostly. Just standing. Her eyes wide. Her lips parted. And not blinking. Amina staggered back. "Zoe." The girl smiled, too slow, too stiff. "Amina, you finally opened." Zoe stepped inside without waiting for permission. The air turned cold enough to sting Amina's skin. I don't have long, Zay said. Dawn pushes me away. She looked around the hut, her eyes moving strangely, as if she were relearning how vision worked. Amina. I didn't drown by accident. Someone caused it. Someone in this village. Amina's breath caught. Who? Zay pointed through the cracked window toward the family compound. Toward their Aunt Lela's hut. She knows the truth, Zay whispered. She saw everything. Amina stared at her sister, the sister she thought she'd lost. The sister who shouldn't be alive. The sister she desperately wanted to believe. But before she could ask more, Zay's form began to fade into morning light. Find the truth, before it finds you. And she vanished like mist. Amina marched to Aunt Lela's hut, fury and fear warring in her chest. Aunt Lela jumped when Amina stepped inside. Her hands shook. Sweat poured at her temples. Amina, what are you doing here? You know something about Zay's death, Amina said. Tell me. Her aunt's face paled. Who told you that? Zay. The cup in Aunt Lela's hand fell and shattered. Tears rushed to her eyes. I saw something that night. But I was afraid to speak. Who was she with? Amina demanded. Lela hesitated, trembling. Finally, she whispered. Your father. Amina felt the world collapse beneath her feet. Amina stormed into her father's home, breath ragged. Did you see Zoe the night she died? Her father's jaw tightened. No. I already told the elders. You argued with her, she snapped. Why? He slammed his hand on the table. Amina, enough. I loved your sister. I would never harm her. But Amina's eyes drifted to the corner. His walking stick leaned against the wall. Covered in dried, cracked river mud. Her father followed her gaze and stiffened. Amina, he said slowly, I can explain. She didn't wait. She ran out of the hut. And nearly crashed into Zoe, who was standing behind the house. Smiling without blinking. Amina, she whispered, he is lying. Come with me, Zay said. Her voice was urgent, unnatural. Amina followed unwillingly as Zoe led her deep into the bush where the trees twisted like ancient guardians. They reached Zay's grave. Amina froze. The earth was torn open. Freshly disturbed. Someone had dug there, recently. Zoe knelt beside the grave, touching the soil with trembling hands. They took something from me, she whispered. Something that binds me to this world. Amina stepped back. Who? Zoe didn't answer. Because someone else did. A branch snapped. Amina spun around. A shadowy figure stood between the trees, watching them. The figure bolted through the trees. Amina chased it, ignoring Zoe's hissed warning, don't go after it. Her feet pounded the earth as she followed the stranger through moonlit paths. The figure carried a small wrapped bundle, snatched from Zoe's grave. Amina lunged, grabbing the bundle and ripping it from their hands. The stranger fled into the forest darkness. Amina unwrapped the cloth. Inside was a bone. Long, smooth. Carved with ancient symbols she'd seen only in forbidden books. Zay appeared beside her. That bone isn't mine, she whispered. Amina looked at her. And for the first time, she felt afraid of her sister. Amina sprinted home and burst into her grandmother's hut. Nana, help me. Something is wrong with Zoe, something terrible. Her grandmother took one look at the bone and gasped, stumbling back. Amina, where did you get this? It was taken from Zoe's grave. Her grandmother shook her head violently. No. This bone belonged to the guardian spirit, the ancestral protector our family betrayed generations ago. Amina froze. And Zoe, she whispered. Her grandmother swallowed hard. Child. Zoe's spirit never returned. Whatever knocks at your door, whatever wears her face, is not her. Amina's blood ran cold. It came because you opened the door, her grandmother said. It needs a host to escape this world. Just then. Tap, tap, tap. 3 knocks behind them. Slow. Intentional. Amina turned. The false Zoe stood at the door, smiling. The creature stepped inside, shedding Zoe's likeness like peeling skin. Its true form was an ancient being, its body shaped like smoke, its limbs bending wrong, its voice layered with echoes. You opened the door, it hissed. Now you are my vessel. Amina backed away. I won't let you take me. The spirit snarled. Your ancestors abandoned me. Left me trapped. Only through you can I be free. Amina clutched the carved bone. And suddenly, she understood. You're not a monster, she whispered. You're a guardian, betrayed, forgotten. The spirit trembled, its anger flickering into grief. Amina ran into the forest with the bone, the spirit raging behind her. She dug into the earth beneath an ancient Iroko tree, where guardians were once honored, and gently returned the bone to the soil. She spoke clearly, voice steady. I acknowledge the wrong. I ask forgiveness. Be at peace. The ground hummed. Light rose from the earth. The spirit collapsed, its smoke dissolving into shimmering dust. And as dawn approached, a familiar figure stepped out of the light. Zoe. Her real form. Gentle. Peaceful. She smiled through tears. Amina, thank you. I can rest now. Amina reached for her, but Zoe's form faded like mist touched by the sun. Her final words lingered in the morning silence. Do not fear the truth, sister. It is the only thing that saves us. Moral of the story. Secrets buried in silence always return. Only truth, courage, and accountability can free us from the ghost, real or imagined, that haunt our lives. Subscribe for more interesting stories.